Hello, our SeptaSOAREous.
I'm Septa.
I'm Soar, and this is us. And today we're going to be checking out People Part 2 by Agust.
We checked out the original People, and it ripped a hole in my heart with comfort and love.
Yeah, it did.
So I'm very curious what this one has in store for us. And this one is featuring an artist. Her name is You.
Maybe. Yeah, I have no idea, so...
I'm not quite
I'm not
sure.
the one to tell you
I don't
that.
know if that's the proper pronunciation of her name, but it is featuring her. I'm excited to see what this is about.
Yeah, we'll see if it makes her cry this time or not.
Yeah.
Very curious. We do not have tissues ready, so if she does, then there'll be a little middle section of me talking to you guys again while she wipes the tears from her eyes.
I don't know how to feel about this one, so I guess we'll find out how this one goes.
So time is here, now right it go. I know you know anything, just know. So time is here, now right it go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
사랑이라는 말 어쩌면 순간의 감정의 날 조건이 붙진 않은 무얼 사랑하는 그 충분히 사랑받지 못한 너희 그래서 무엇보다 신중한 타입 나는 말에 원해 진중한 사 알잖아 영어는 못했어 잔잔한 파도에도 힘없이 쉽게 무너져 상실은 무엇 때문에 슬픈 걸까 사실은 두려운 게 슬픈 거야 두려운 게 슬픈 거야 So far away you're gone Getting far away
Is this just like a place they rented, or is this his house?
That's a very good question.
It looks fancy.
So time is here, now right it go. I know you know anything, just know. So time is here, now right it go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
당신은 무엇 때문에 슬픈 걸까? 사실은 두려움이 큰 거잖아 함께 미래 그리던 우리는 없고 쌓은 모든 성들을 부셔버린 것은 우린 거야 승패가 없는 게임이라지만 난 언제나 게임 루저 모든 걸 주겠다던 우린 모든 것을 부셔 그리고 떠나지 사랑이던 사람이든 모두가 이기적이기 때문이야
The doggy again. Looks like an old doggy.
It does.
Getting far away Too far away you're gone I know I have to know yeah.
So time is here, now right it go. I know you know anything, just know. So time is here, now right it go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
떠가는 사람 떠가는 사람 사랑의 끝은 과연 무엇일까 수많은 사람 스쳐간 사랑 사랑은 사랑으로 완벽할까 그래 말야 이타적인 게 어쩌면 되려 이기적이네 널 위해 한다는 말은 곧 내 욕심이기에 욕심을 버리면 행복해지고 채우지 못한 반쪽짜리 허상 삶은 저항과 복종 사이의 싸움이라는데 내가 보기에는 외로움들과의 싸움이네 눈물이 터져 나오면 그대 울어도 돼 당신은 사랑받기에도 이미 충분한데
So time is here, now right it go. I know you know anything.
That setup, though.
I know, I want that.
Time is here, now right it go. Nobody doesn't know anymore. Yeah.
대부분 다 뭐 사람들한테 전달하고 싶은 이야기도 있지만 나 자신한테 이야기를 하는 것처럼 들린다라는 이야기를 많이 들었거든요. 사실이기도 하고요. 그때 당시에 코로나로 여러 가지 것들을 할 수 없을 때 굉장히 모든 것을 잃어버렸다라고 생각을 했을 때 썼던 곡이기 때문에 나 자신한테 되게 해주고 싶었던 이야기였습니다.
Ah.
Interesting. I see.
Yes.
So it was when the world was shut down.
Yeah, and initially looking at the lyrics, it seemed kind of like a love song,
Mm-hmm.
but like a love song with a sad ending.
Yeah, it was a tragedy.
Yes, exactly. But it makes sense after seeing the video that it was like a message to himself while he was in isolation, because he built this beautiful thing and then he had to watch it all feel like it was just being destroyed because he couldn't perform anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like all that hard work was for nothing. I'm sure that's what it felt like.
Yeah, and like that is like one thing that like about artistry that is like kind of weird. The point of doing art is for yourself, right? You're doing art to make yourself happy.
It's the expression, the self-expression.
But there does come a point where it's like you want to share it with people and maybe relate with people. And once that's gone, you could feel empty and like what you're doing doesn't matter at all, which apparently is how he was feeling. It was interesting too. He was talking about like being selfless was also being like greedy and stuff like that.
Like selflessness is actually selfishness.
Yeah. And it was interesting because I'm probably putting way too much on this, but he was saying the lines while he was in his like really fancy studio. So it made me think of him viewing music that way as well, where, you know, like he's like, I need to keep producing things for the fans, right? So in his mind, it's like this selfless thing where it's like, I need to do this for the fans. But at the same time, he needs the feedback from the fans in a selfish way. He needs that, you know?
That like gratification.
Right. So he's like, got himself convinced, like, I'm doing it for the fans. But then without the fans, it's like, what's the point of doing it at all when it's supposed to be making art for more of like yourself, you know? I don't know if that's what he's talking about, but that's what made me think.
Yeah, and with the way he broke it down at the end, I could see how maybe that was part of the message he was telling himself. I really liked the line where he said that some people say life is a struggle between resistance and
Submission.
But he thinks that it's a struggle against loneliness, which I could definitely see that. And that statement was really poignant in the video because he was alone
with his doggy
the entire time.
With his doggy.
But with the doggy.
But yeah, exactly.
But yeah, he was alone, and it made that statement strike that much harder once he got to it, because you just saw him all by himself this whole time. So it felt lonely. I think they did a really good job of conveying that. Yeah. And like a feeling of isolation.
Yep, I agree. And one thing that I think is interesting about it, right, is because he's talking about COVID and all the shutdowns, obviously, and everything that was going on. Where we live, there wasn't really a huge difference. We had to wear masks, and that was about it.
It was like there was a tiny difference depending on your employer.
Sure. Yeah.
Like lots of places where they had to switch to like working from home for safety reasons. But with his job, that wasn't an option.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So like with my job, there is no working from home. There's no possible way that I could have done that and still made money. So, you know, for my employer, if they had shut everything down, we would have been totally screwed. So they kept things open, but cleaned a lot and was like, you know, wear masks, all that stuff. So for me, it wasn't like this huge shift in like the way that I lived and the way that I did things. But then seeing stuff like this, it's interesting to see the impact of people who were incredibly affected by it.
Yeah.
Especially like him being in the music industry and then like all concerts and everything being shut down where that is your life and interviews and whatever
and
else.
You rely on people and like public interaction.
Yeah. It's so interesting to see like the effects of it because of course I had a different experience. So I really like seeing that here, seeing that perspective.
Yeah. And it had to be surreal in like really big cities and stuff where there's always people everywhere. And then it was just
ghost town. Nothing. Yeah. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. So I know that it was like that in a lot of places, just not necessarily where we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's more rural where we are.
Yeah.
There's lots of open space anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. We don't have very high population here. But I also appreciated that. It was an interesting look into it.
It was. And I'm really glad he left the message at the end so that it made you reanalyze all of the lyrics from his perspective, speaking to himself and not just as like a degrading love story. I liked it. It didn't make me cry though.
Not this time. Not this time. We never know, man. That was just going to be a surprise every time it happens.
I know, it really is. I thought it was great. And I did really enjoy the featured vocalist. She had a really pretty voice.
And I don't know why, but maybe it was the style of the song or something, but all I could think of was J-Lo.
Like Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah. No idea. I don't know why. And it could have been because she was in Selena, and I feel like Selena...
And that gave you the same vibes as like that.
Yeah.
Some of those songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know if that's where my brain went with it, but I just kept thinking about J-Lo, but I was like, I don't listen to J-Lo. I have no idea what she really sounds like. And I was like, but I do to an extent because of Selena, because that was a good movie.
That was a really good movie.
And I think she kind of had like those chill type of vibes, kind of like that.
In some of the songs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, but either way, beautiful voice. I enjoyed it a lot. It had such a like 90s vibe to me.
It was very R&B.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. It was a nice track.
It was. And I had no idea what to expect after the other one.
Yeah, we never know anymore. It's
true. It's always a surprise.
terrifying going into anything.
But like in good ways. But I did really like it. And the music video is beautiful. I want to pet the puppy.
Oh God, looks so cute. Oh, so
like
cuddly.
Brody.
I know, it looks like our boy, bro.
Our old man dog.
Bro, Jojo. If you made it this far, please consider liking and subscribing, maybe even hit that bell. We have reacted to AugustD's People. If you want to go check that out. We also have BTS reactions if you're interested in that. We also have a Patreon. If you want to support us over there, that would help us immensely. But until next time.
Please remember that we love you.
Stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye.